Write the heading subnetting. Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Definition of subnetting. A subnetwork or a subnet is a logical subdivision of
लेकिन वो जानकारी सेना के सैनिकों की तरफ से थी और आज भी ये सुनिश्चित किया गया है कि सुबह 10 बजे का वो वक्त है जब सेना के जो वरिष्ठ अधिकारी सामने आएंगे।
a subnetwork or subnet is a logical subdivision of an IP network. Logical subdivision of an IP network. Please stop. Write the another definition. Subnetting is the method of subdividing dividing a network into two or more subnet, two or more network is called subnetting. So it is a method of dividing a network into two or more networks. So this, the technology or the method which is known as subnetting. So why do we need the subnetting? That also you should know. Like if you have a one network, just think of it. Like suppose I have a IP of class B, maybe like 172.168.10.10. So what is the network ID of this? What is the network ID of this IP? Tell me.
10.0, 172.168.10.0.
172.168.0.
0.0/16, right? That is my network ID. So as we know that like from this network, how many hosts and how many network we can configure? Can you tell me? How many hosts and how many networks you can configure from this network?
Sir, 2 to the power 14 networks and 2 to the power 16 minus 2 hosts.
So just see. So if we talk about that, the network and host. So 2 raised to the power 16 minus 2, that will be your number of hosts. That much of IP you can configure for the host. And for the network, 2 raised to the power, total how many bits are the network bits? So we have that 16 bits, but as we know that the 2 bits are the, for the class B are the leading bits. So we cannot change in the first 2 bits, right? So 2 raised to the power 14. So that much of network you can configure. So that just think of it. Per network, how many hosts you can configure? So per network, you can configure 2 raised to the power 16 minus 2 number of hosts. Okay. And the condition is that, like, if that much of host you are configuring, okay, and you have the requirement of, only let it be 100 IPs. Okay, but you have used this network 172.168.0.20. You can configure that much of IP from this network, but you required only 100 IPs. And if you use this network, so how many IP will be wasted? Just think of it. There are so many IP will be wasted, na? It will calculate the value of 2 raised to the power 16. How much you will get? Just calculate it. 2 raised to the power 16. So 2 raised to the power 10 is what? 1024
1024.
into 2 raised to the power 6. Just multiply it. 1024 into
65,536.
what is it?
65,000.
Like 64,000.
64,000. Okay. So 64,000, suppose IP you are having. Minus 2 if you subtract, right? So let it be, around 64,000 you have IP.
Value 65534.
65534.
Yes.
Okay. I mean more than 64,000. Let it be. I mean 65,000 subtract to what you'll get 65532. So that much of host you can configure from this network. But you required only 100 IP, 100 host. Just think of it. If you use this network, how many IP will you get spent? There will be so many, more than 64,000, right? More than, I mean, if you subtract 100 here, so more than 65,000 IP will be wasted in this case. So due to this, like, minimizing this type of shortage of IP, so that concept came, that is called as the first concept was the subnetting. So by the help of subnetting, you can reduce that, that wastage of this IP address. Apart from the subnetting, there are many other solutions are also there to reduce the shortage of IP address. That is called as a NAT. NAT is what is a network address translation. The third one is called as a classless IP addressing concept, like where we have seen like, there will be IP address which not belongs to a particular or a specific class. Like there will be a classless IP, right? That concept was also, and which is bit similar to the subnetting. Okay, so these are the many way where with the help of this method you can reduce that the shortage of IP. Like suppose just think of it like we have the class C IP 192.168.10.10 /24, and here if you'll find the network ID, so you'll get 192.168.10.0, right, /24. How many hosts you can configure? 2 raised to the power 8 minus 2, right? Because 24 bits are the network bits. So how many hosts will be there? So 2 raised to the power 8 is what? 256 minus 2. So 254 number of hosts you can configure. But if you have a requirement of only, let it be 10 IPs from this class, right? So if you subtract this value 10, what you'll get? 244. 244 IPs, that will be what is wasted in this case also. And if you required only 10 network, just think of it. How many network you can configure? So 2 raised to the power 3 bits just subtracted. So 2 raised to the power 21. Number of, that network ID you will create from this IP, right? And we required only, let it be 1000 network. Only 1000 network required from this, from this IP. And where we have that, the values of 2 raised to the power 21. Just think of it. There will be so many IP again. In this case also it will be wastage. For each and every classes, if we talk about the classful IP, not classless IP I'm talking. I'm just taking an example of classful IP. And if we configure in any network, and we require like 100 hosts, 200 hosts, 1000 hosts. So on that basis, as many classful IP you'll use on that network, on that case there will be so many IP will be wastage, right? So because those IP you cannot assign, because if one network you have defined and you have assigned some of the IP to the host, and for different network again those IP you cannot use, like again you have to take the range from that network, right? So due to this, all the issues, like all the problems we are facing earlier, so people came up with this concept that is called as subnetting. So subnetting already definition I hope you have written, right? So it's a main job of subnetting to divide that the network on the basis of host, or on the basis of network requirements. So it's a logical subdivision of the network into a two or more networks. So logically, actually the network will be same. I mean, logically you will divide the sum of the different network, which will be behaves like a different network. There will be a single network, like let it be this is my one network, right? So from this network only, I'll create some logical sub network, subnetted network, that is called as a, and that concept is what basically subnetting. And those subnetted network will behaves like a different networks, right? So that is the way you can use in this computer network where it required 100 hosts or 200 hosts. So on that basis, you will divide the network. Like if your requirement, like if interviewer will tell you, I need 100 hosts on this IP, how many subnetted network you will create, and what will be the number of usable IP on each subnetted network? Define, and how many IP will be wastage on those, because subnetting is not a solution. I mean, it is a solution, but we cannot say that 100% you'll reduce that wastage of IP. 100% nowhere you will be reduced. I mean, you can minimize that, but not it will come up with a 100% solution where I mean no single IP will be wastage in this case. No, it is not possible. Yeah, definitely you can reduce that wastage, but it cannot reduce to 100%. Make sure that. Okay, so let's start with some example and we'll understand that. And there is some formula for calculating the subnetted network, so that you have to write it down, and accordingly we'll move ahead with that different problems. Okay, so have I taught you CIDR classless interdomain routing methods for calculating the subnet mask and the value? Suppose if I'll give you like different CIDR values, and what will be the subnet mask? Can you calculate it? Right? Like suppose I have a value like /8, /9, /10. So can you calculate the value in the decimal equivalent?
Yes, sir.
Let me give
Yes,
you
sir.
some value, because this is the one of the important thing you have to understand in the what subnetting. Because in the subnetted network, no classful IP will be there. Not only multiple of /8, /16, /24. It may be the multiple of some other odd numbers, like different values. Maybe /9, /10, /11. It will goes like that. Okay. So suppose I have a subnet mask. Let it be. This is my subnet mask, right? And this is my CIDR value. So if we have a value of 155.0.0.0, so in the CIDR, what values represent this? /8, yes or no? If you have a /9, then what is the value? Just calculate it. /10, what is the value? /11, what is the value? /12, just calculate it. All of you, tell me the subnet mask for this all CIDR value.
Sir,
So
we have
calculate
to type it in the chat, or
yeah, in the chat. You can chat. All of you, once you'll complete, just type in the chat. Okay. Value which you have reply on the chat, that also you need to remember. That's correct. Like many of you have, correctly you have written that the subnet mask value of the CIDR. Like if you go ahead with the /9, so what it will be 255.128.0.0, and in the binary, what will be the values? So I'm just writing the binary value as well. For the /8, everybody knows that 1 and remaining bit will be 0. So just make it. So here it will use 255. So in this case, all the bits you have to make it 1. I mean that will become this is the first octet. So I'll have to make it all bit 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? So it will become 255. Okay, so let me first erase it, otherwise you'll get confused because rest of the octet I'm not writing here, na? And it will indicate other octet as well. So let me remove this. This one I'll discuss later on because the main meaning of CIDR values is related to rest of the octet as well. If I write only one octet values here, you will be confused. Just see, like 128 is for /9, and now we have /10. So the values is like 255. There you have 192.0.0. For 11 will be 255.224.0.0. And for 12, and 12 means what? 12 bits you have to just make it 1. So first 8 bit is 1 means what? It will be 255, and remaining 4 bits from the second octet, if you'll make it 1, you will get it 240. So accordingly, rest of the bits also has been calculated 240.0.0. Okay. So like that way, I mean, any other value like /15, 16, 13, whatever value, if someone will ask you, so you should know about that. And this values is not like every time you will not calculate. Don't make an habit of calculating every time. Just remember those values because in coming days in your online exam and in the coming days, if there will be an interview process, so on there sometimes subnetting question may be asked. So on there, don't start calculating that from the CID value to the subnet mask and decimal calculator. First you calculate the binary, then you're converting in the decimal. It would take too much time. Okay, so make a habit to remember all these values. I mean, remembering is not like things like it's a very difficult because 8-bit is what, if we'll make it 1, 8 bits 1 is written automatically about 255. You all knows that already. 9 is what, just 1 bit you have to, from the first octet. 8-bit is 1, already, is 255, and so from the second octet it will become 1 and rest of the bit 0. So 1 bit in out of 8 bits, 1 bit is 0, 1, and rest of bits are 0. So what is the value? 128. So like that way you can remember. Like let me write here binary and decimal values for the some numbers, because these are the numbers will be used every time. So if we have the binary values, and then we have a decimal one. Okay, like let it be the value like 100,367, right? So we are in the decimal 128, right? If I'll make it 1100 or 5, 6, 7, 8, just tell me the values. कैलकुलेट करो तुम लोग, बताओगे अभी चैट में रिप्लाई देना. 11100 1 1 1 1 4 times 1 0 0 0 again 1 1 1 1 0 0 0 1 1 1 0 0 next 5 times 1 6 times 1 now it's 5 8 if you use 6 times now I have to write 1 so this is my 1 7 times 1 now to 3 6 7 0 and the last one is 8 times 1 right and here now just convert it in the decimal values all of you. I need all values, not single one. I need the decimal value from the starting of the number 128 to it goes up to if you write 1 on 1 all on one, so it will become 255. So all the values you have to reply in the chat, the remaining all values between 128 to 255. Correct. Amia correct. Varsha you have written 3 values only. Shoham correct. Aprajita, what about other values? Vinayak correct. Okay. So most of you are correct only, but some people has not given all the answers. So just see if you go ahead with that double one and rest of the bit 0, so it will become 192. This is my 224. Anybody who does not know the convergence, if you raise your hand, I can explain you for 1 or 2 questions, remaining you can try. Raise your hand, anybody who does not know, like how I'm converting this value in the decimal. I wanted to know. Anyone, just raise your hand. Okay, I mean, everybody knows that. Okay. So, just see, if you go ahead with the 4 times 1, so the value will be 240. Got 240, and if you go ahead with the 5 times 1, it will become 248. Then we have 250 to 254, and then you will get it 255. So this value is very important in the subnetting. Why I have ready to calculate the values, because next time onwards I'll directly write the final result. I'll not do any kind of conversion or anything, right? So two table I have made it right, and both the table is equally important. Just you need to refer every time, and once you'll refer and slowly you get to remember also. Okay, so let's move ahead with the scenario. Okay, so where like suppose we have that one network and let me give you one, the topology where you have to tell me that how many, without subnetting, how many network is required on that configurations. So just think of it. Suppose we have a router one. There is another router here. and let it be some devices were connected with the switch. So we have one switch. Right. Here, switches were connected. Here also we have another switch. Right. Just tell me how many without subnetting, how many network will be required?
5.
Are you sure everybody 5 network? Anyone who is guessing that less than 5 without subnetting? Okay, so 5 is the right answer. Like one network is for this, another is for this, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So 5 network will be required. So let it be, I am using that, the IP for the 5 network, like 200 dot, just you can write it down, 200.10.20.0. Another network is for 200.10.21.0. Which class IP is this, guys? Suppose I'm using classful IP of /24. So which class IP is this?
Class C.
C.
Class C. Okay. 200.10.22.0. 200.10.23.0. How many IPs? 1, 2, 3, 4. One more just write down. 200.10.24.0. So all are from the class C IP I have used. Okay. And this is my 5 network ID, which I have written over there. Okay. And in each network, already you know that how many hosts you can configure from the each network. So how many hosts you can configure from each network?
254.
How many hosts? 254. Very good. 254, right. So in each network, 254 hosts you can configure, but I have connected only few hosts. Just think of it. I have connected, let it be here I am showing 3 or 4 computers. Maybe 100 computers I have connected, or maybe 10 or 20 computers I have connected, but I can configure 254 hosts. So here lots of IP is going to be wastage in each and every cases, right? So now we will apply some subnetting and we'll try to reduce some wastage. Okay, so just write it down. The first type of subnetting is for finding the network. So let it be the type 1 subnetting. We'll start with that. Type 1 subnetting. Okay, so the type 1 subnetting that will be based on the finding the network. So you can write it down, type 1 subnetting, and in bracket you can write it down for finding network. Finding network. Okay, so in this case you'll see that how do you calculate if you have some as per the scenario or as per the requirement, right? Like, so you require 10 network, or you require 5 network. So how do you do the subnetting? So the first case is that first you have to calculate that number of subnets. Like the first formula you can write it down. Number of subnet, which is equal to 2 raised to the power x minus 2. So here is the number of subnets, which is equal to 2 raised to the power x minus 2. And here x is the number of bits that will be borrowed. What is x here? X is equal to number of bits which will be borrow.
So is it the same calculation as the number of hosts?
No, that is for finding network. I'm just calculating. And where if you require the subnetted networks, like if you have a requirement, so how will calculate the values? Number of, first you have to calculate that number of subnets. So the formula is 2 raised to the power x minus 2, and x is the number of bits which will be borrowed. I will tell you with the example here. If you write the formula, maybe you will not understand some of the things, but when we'll go ahead with the question, I'll make you understand in each and every formulas what I have written over here. Second thing is that I have to calculate the number of hosts. Suppose you want to calculate number of hosts. So for number of hosts, which is equal to 2 raised to the power y minus 2. Okay. And here y is what? It's a number of zeros. Remember this. So for finding the subnet, the formula is 2 raised to the power x minus 2. For finding the host, also 2 raised to the power y minus 2. But the difference is that x is there is a different meaning of x and y, both are different. X meaning is that number of bits which will be borrowed. Okay. And here the number of how many zeros that you are using, that will be considered in case of y. So y is number of zeros. Okay. Now the third thing you have to calculate, that is called as a magic number, or that is also called as in some books or in some site you will find a block size. Okay. So that also you have to calculate. So just you can write down the magic number of block size is equal to magic number or block size, which is equal to total number of address of this particular magic number, I mean, which is equal to 256 total, in each and every, if we'll take an example of any of the IP address and any octet, like if you'll take the value from the 0 to 255, so total how many size, I mean total number of address, how many you will get in each and every octets. So 256 total number of addresses you will form. So in this 256 addresses, you have to just subtract that the mask values. So 256 minus mask. And what is mask value? I'll tell you in the example. I'll show you how do you calculate how many bits you're going to be masked. That I'll show you in the example. Okay. So this is the three formula that you need to understand, and accordingly we will move ahead with the question, and wherever it will be required number of hosts and number of networks, so we will solve those type of problems. Okay. So we have just taken an example, like we have a requirement of 5 networks, like just I have given that one example before of this. I hope you have seen here how many networks that is required. We have required 5 networks, right? Because if you use that 5 network without subnetting, so which IP I have written already 200.10.20.0, 21, 22, 23, 24. So in this configuration, in this topology, basically we required the 5 network. Okay. And if you use the classful IP, so in 5 network you have, suppose you have used class C IP. So in each and every network, you can configure 254 number of hosts, but suppose you have required less number of hosts, right? So here the loss of IP is going to be wastage, right? But our requirement is that only 5 networks. Okay. So on the basis of network, so this what all 3 formula which you have written on the top, this formula, in the type 1 subnetting, I mean for finding the network, we can apply. Okay. So how will calculate? So first of all, any network you can choose, like whatever network, like suppose you wanted to use a class C IP address. So you can choose that. The first thing is that first find the network ID of that class. Like suppose I have given that IP, like 200 dot, the question was this is my question, like there is a IP like 200.10.20.20. Okay. This is that one of the IP address I have given to you. Maybe I am into whoever. I have given you this IP address, and I need that the 5 subnetted network from this what IP. From this IP, I need 5 subnetted network. I mean, I need 5 subnetworks. So it means that you have to think of it. Okay, this is the case of subnets. I mean, it's a subnetting where I required 5 network only, and this is my one of the usable IP has been given of the class C, right? Maybe /24 if you have, interviewer has given questions and they have mentioned that CIDR values is like /24. So you have to think that okay, this is the class C IP, and from this IP, I need required a 5 subnetted network. Logically, I have to divide this, from this IP, 5 networks. So first of all, I have to calculate that what? I have to calculate this thing, network address. First step is that to calculate this network address. So how do we calculate the
We are
network
doing
address?
class IP addressing, right?
Yeah. So in this case, how many network, I mean, what will be the network ID from given IP? First of all, you have to find the network ID. So everybody knows that if you have a class full IP, so you can make it first 24 bits. First 24 bits, you will make it 1 and just do the AND operations. If you do the AND operation, you will get the values like 200.10.20.0, right? So this is my basically 200.10.20.0. That is my network ID. Okay. In the second step, I have a requirement of 5 networks. So number of subnet required is what? Is a 5. You can write it down also. Number of subnetwork or subnets. Number of subnets required equal to 5. Okay. Here the formula is that like if you have a required number of subnets or the subnetworks, so the formula simply you will apply like 2 raised to the power n minus 2 should be greater than or equal to how many network which is required, that value you have to keep it over here, right? So just find the values like if you have that 5 subnet required or x you can take like in previously I have written the formula x. So you can use the x 2 raised to the power x minus 2 which should be greater than equal to 5. So what should be the x value? If x you will take it 1, so 2 minus 2 it's not greater than equal to 5. If you will take 2 you will get it 4 minus 2. If 2 is not greater than equal to 5. If you take 3 and x values is 3. So in this case, you will get the value 6, which is greater than 5. So you can check it. I mean, x, if you use the x, so 2 minus 2 is greater than equal to 5. No, it is not possible. If you use x equal to 2, so then in this case also 2 minus 2, I mean the 4, that is not greater than equal to 5. If you use x equal to 3, so 2 raised to the power 3 minus 2, which is greater than equal to 5. Yes, so this is becomes 8 minus 2 6 and 6 is greater than 5, which is correct. So x equal to 3, that values that number of, I mean x equal to 3 means what? Just you have written x, what is the meaning of x? Number of bits which will be borrowed. So in this case, what you will do, the number of, suppose you got the value of x equal to 3. So number of zeros to be changed into what? Ones. How many zeros you have to change is to 1? That you have to make it by what? It's 3 bits. So where you will change the zeros? That you need to understand first. Just think of it. If we'll use the class C IP, so what is the subnet mask? Like the subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. That is my subnet mask, right? So here, what you have to do, simply first convert this value in the binary. So if you'll make it binary like 8 bits, you have to make it 1. Again, 8 bits, just make it 1. This one also 1. Right? Remaining bits are what? It's a 0, 0. Right? So our question is that 5 network we have required. We have got the value of x, or we have got the value of n, which is equal to 3. So n is 3 is what? Basically number of zeros to be changed into ones. How many zeros changed to ones? that you have to make it what is a 3. So here number of zeros changed into ones, which is equal to 3. The 3 zeros you have to make it change to 1. Now you will get the new subnet mask. I mean, here how many? Already we have 24 bits which are what? It's a 1. So where you have to change? You will change in where? In the host bits. So in the host bits, you have the zeros, 3 zeros starting from the left to right. Remember this, guys. These 3 zeros you have to change to 1. 1, 1, 1. Now the value will become how much? 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0. Right? So what is the decimal values of this? I mean, if we convert, so this is my 255.255.255. And what is the values of this, guys?
224.
224.
224.
224.
So 224, that is my new subnet mask of my required network. Okay, remember this. Now the third step is that in the second step, just you have to convert that zeros to the 1. Simply from the where? From the host bits. If you require the network, remember this. In the third case, we have to find the magic number. We have to calculate the magic number. So what is the magic number? So here total the block size is what? 256 minus what is the value, new value you got? New subnetted, in a network, like the new subnet mask and last octet where you have made the changes. What is the new values you got? So that values is 224. So that values you have to subtract out of 256. What you'll get? So the values is 2 and this one is 3. I mean 32. So your block size is what here? 32. Till now, have you understood, or do I need to make you understand once again? Because after that we have to go ahead with the new network we will calculate. Anyone has you not understood, let me know. I can explain you.
So can you
We'll move
explain
ahead.
once again?
Yeah, just see. Suppose we have that one network like 200.10.20.20. Sorry. Stop the screen. Who is sharing screen?
That's a by mistake, sorry.
Just look at here. Just see. Like suppose we have the IP address like 200.10. Can you see my screen? Is it screen
Yes, sir.
visible,
Yes,
guys?
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So just look at here. We have the IP like 200.10.20.20/24. Okay. So from this, IP, or you can say that from the network like 210.0.20.0. From this network, we required 5 subnetted network. As you can see the topology here. In this topology, we required that 5 network, and in each network we are using suppose let it be 50 or 20 number of hosts. Each network we are configuring it. So in this case, as you know that in the class C IP, if you are using class C or that your CIDR value is 24. So out of this, I mean, how many hosts you can configure in each network? 254. All you know that, right? So 254 hosts you can configure from the class C, but we are using only 10 or 20 number of hosts from the each network. So what we are wasting so many IP addresses. So we are going to minimize this wastage of IP. We cannot 100% we cannot reduce the wastage. Yeah, at least we can 50 or 20% or 30% if we reduce the wastage. We will improve. I mean, we can say that, yeah, definitely earlier suppose we are wasting 100 IPs, now we are only wasting 20 or 30 IPs. So that is definitely you will be benefited. I mean, you will be in advantage, right? So in this case, like we have the network ID like 200.10.20.0, and we require the subnet network like total 5 subnetted network. And when we have calculated, like there is a formula 2 raised to the power n minus 2 should be greater than equal to 5. 5. Why I'm writing 5? Because I have a, this is my question actually. I have a 5 network required. So that's why I'm just writing it 5 over here, right? Because I required that 5 network. If you require 10 networks, so you will write it 10 over here. If you require 20 network, you require 20 there. Okay. So accordingly, I have calculated the values of n or x. You can say that because 2 raised to the power x minus 2 should be greater than 5. So x values is what? If you use 1, so you'll get 2. 2 raised to the power 1 is 2. 2 minus 2 is 0. Is not greater than equal to 5. You'll use 2. You'll get it. 4 minus 2. 2 is not greater than equal to 5. So you cannot take these values. So I have used x equal to 3 because x values you'll get it what? 2 raised to the power 3 is what? 8 minus 2, 6. So 6 is greater than 5, right? So due to this x values I have used here what is a 3. This is the step that you have to follow to find the subnetted network. So here the number of zeros that the meaning of x equal to 3 is that the number of zeros that you are going to change into what ones, how many zeros you are going to change into ones from the host bits. So that values is we give you the x values. So x you got suppose 3. So x is 3 means what? 3 zeros you have to change to the 1 in the second step. So in the second step, what I did it, so just look at here. Like suppose you have the subnet because initially you have used the class C IP. So your subnet mask was 255.255.255.0, right? That was your subnet mask. So just convert it in the binary. And this value is 24 bits. You have to make it 1. Last octet, you have the 8 bits. 8 bit out of this 8 bits, 3 bits you have to make it 1 because all 8 bits are 0 because all are from the host bits. So while calculating the subnet mask host bits, you have to make it 0. So all the bits are 0 initially. So out of this 8 bits, according to my previous steps, I got the x values is 3. It means that I have to change this, the binary values of 0 to 1, right? 3 bits I have to make it 1. So that's why I have changed this 3 bits only 1. From the left to right, don't make it from the right to left. Right to left meaning is totally different. Left to right is meaning different. So from the left side, because this is the starting octet, just look at here. And we are starting from here, like 24 bits, like 8 bits, 8 bits, 8 bits. 24 bits is gone. Now 3 bits we are adding it from the host bits, right? So it will become like your new CIDR value. It will become what? 24 plus 3. What will you get? 27. So slash 27 is your new CIDR values of new network. That I'll tell you. As for now, just understand that 3 bits I have made it 1, and then value I got it what is a 224. 224, my new subnet mask is what? 255.255.255.224. In the CIDR representation, this value is called as a slash 27. Okay. Now in the third step, I have calculated the magic number. Okay, magic number formula is very simple. Total any octet size, I mean the values in the total any of the octet, right, it ranges from 0 to 255. So total size will be 256. So out of 256, whatever the block size you got, I mean whatever the changes you got in whatever octet, whichever octet, right? So on that particular octet, what value you got in the decimal, that value you have to subtract from 256. And after subtracting whatever result you got, that is what basically is a magic number. So here I got 224. The changes I made it in the last octet. The values also what is 224. So I have to subtract this 224 from out of 256. So I got it. What is a 32? So 32 is my block size. So what is this meaning of block size? Now you'll understand when you create the subnetted network. So just let's start with that. After this, I have a block size of 32. My first subnet network will start from 0. So that is my subnet 0. You can write it here like subnet 0. Let's start with that subnet 0. Subnet 0. Okay. And what is the ID of the subnet 0? So, like as you have seen that, your network ID. What was your network
So
ID?
is this a new
200.
problem?
Sorry.
Is this a new problem?
No. Same problem. So what is the network ID? Like initially, what network ID we have used? Like 200.10.20. We have used what? It's a 0. That was my first network ID of given IP, right? 200.0 slash. What is the new subnet mask I got? As per the requirement of the host, as per the requirement of the network, what was this new subnet mask, guys? New CIDR values.
Slash
Tell me.
27.
Slash 27. Okay. Now, this is my first subnet 0. Generally, this subnet don't use in the network. People don't assign this ID because it itself, like if you use that 200.20.0, so that will represent that network ID of any of the subnet. Okay. If you'll go ahead with the next subnet, I mean the subnet 1. Subnet 1. So what will be the network ID? This is whatever I'm writing now, subnet 0, subnet 1, subnet 2, and so on. This is my subnetted network. My network ID was 200.10.20.0. From this single network, I'm just dividing that multiple subnetted network. It will behave like a different networks. Remember this, guys. So this subnet 1 will be equal to, like the IP will be 200.10.20. Now just wait here. What you have to do, whatever block size you got, what is your magic number? 32, right? So 32 क्या है तुम्हारा block size है. So this 32 you have to add it in the previous network IDs. Like suppose in the previous network ID I have 0. So I have to add 0 plus 32. So what I'll get? 32. So my next subnetted network ID will be 200.10.20.32/27. Next subnet, what I will get? Tell me, guys. Subnet
So
2,
from where is the /27 coming?
this value, na? Just I have explained you. Like this magic number, I got 32. Before of that, when I change the 3 bits, like when I have calculated the x is equal to 3. So the 3 bits I have made it change to 0 to 1, na? So how many
Okay, so
bits are
understood.
network bits? The total, this 24 bits is here, and this remaining 3 bits I have made it fixed. This 3 bits become fixed, guys. Now you cannot change in here. So this basically what this values is /27. That is my new subnetted, new CIDR values of the new subnetted network. Now subnet 1, if I'll see, subnet 1 is 32. Subnet 2, what is the value of subnet 2? So that value is 200.10.20. Just add 32 again. What will get? 64. This /27 again. /27 will be fixed because this subnet mask, new subnet mask you already got. CIDR values. Now the next is what? Subnet. Subnet, that it will be 3. What is the values? 200.10.20. Again 32, just add it. What you will get? 96. Can you tell me how many subnet you will configure? If you go adding, keep adding 32, how many subnetted network you can configure? Tell me, guys.
Sir, is it 8?
8
Total 8.
subnets like in total.
Total 8. Okay. So 0 from, if you start from 0 to up to 7, right? So just why you will not take after 7? Why you are not taking subnet 8? Can you tell me the reason? Okay, just see. I'll show you. Just see. Suppose if you go ahead with the subnet 4, what is the values? 200.10.20. Again add it 32. After adding 32, what you'll get? 128 slash 27. Let's move ahead with the next subnet. Subnet 5 200.10.20. Add 32 160 slash 27. Now move ahead with the subnet 6 200.10.20. Again add it 32 192 slash 27. Let's move ahead to the next one. Subnet 7 200.10.20. Add 32 224 slash 27. Let's move back to the subnet 8. Subnet 8 200.10.20. Add 32 256 slash 27. Will it be possible? 256, can you write in the any of the octet? What is the maximum value you can write in the octet?
255.
255.
255. So now we are going beyond of 255. So this subnet is not going to exist. Subnet 8 is not going to configure after subnet. I mean from subnet 8, that rest of the subnet you cannot configure, because in the last octet the maximum value you can keep like 255, and if you add the block size 32, it will go up to 256, and 256 values is not going to be exist in the any of the octet, right? So the total how many subnetted network from the single network, just think of it. From the single network, you can configure 8 subnetted network from the class C IP from the given IP, right? As per your example. So if interviewer will ask you, they give you the one of the IP address, and they will tell you, I have a requirement of 5 subnetted network. Okay. So what are the subnetted network ID that you will create from the given IP? So just think of it. I had a requirement of total 5 subnetted network. I have configured 8 network, right? So only 3 subnetted network is going to be wastage over here. Just think of it. Because requirement was 5, you have configured how many networks? Subnetted network you have created 8. Anyhow, we have reduced that wastage. We have minimized that, right? Because 8 was required. The first generally subnet 0 don't we assign to any of the network subnet 0. So forget about subnet 0 also. So you have only subnet 1 to subnet 7. So total it will become 7 subnetted, totally 7 subnetted network. Out of it 5 is required. So we will use out of this 7 network, we can use any of the 5 networks as per our requirement. And now just think of it, out of each and every subnetted networks, right? So how many, just think of it, how many hosts you can configure from each subnetted networks?
30 hosts per subnet.
So just see between 0 to, just think of it. I'm just taking example of first subnet 0 and between subnet 1 and subnet 0. Just let me explain here. Just see. Subnet 0 ID was my subnet 0 ID was 200.10.20.0 slash 27, ठीक है? और subnet 1 मेरा जो है subnet 1, that is my 200.10.20. What? 32 slash 27, right? So there was 2 subnet, subnetted network, 2 network IPs. This subnet 0 and subnet 1 is a different network. Just think of it. क्योंकि यहाँ पे जब सबनेटिंग करते हो तो जितने भी लॉजिकल डिवीजन ऑफ नेटवर्क जो बनते हैं, सबनेटेड नेटवर्क जो बनते हैं, ऑल आर ट्रीटेड एज अ डिफरेंट नेटवर्क. ये एक सेम नेटवर्क के नहीं है, ये दोनों के दोनों अलग नेटवर्क बन गए, ठीक है? If we have different networks, so just think of it. In this network, like if you write the IP like 200.10.20.1, or you'll write 20.1, 20. Let it be 2, 20.3. It will goes up to what? 20. What? 31. Yes or no, guys? 200.10.20.31. So it will start from 1 and it will goes up to 31, right? So just think of it. The first, I mean, that will be either you can assign this first ID, like this is my 200.10.20.1 as a default gateway, or maybe this ID I'll assign to any of the host. So I'll include that the first one, right? And the last one I am just using for the broadcasting, the last my ID of this network. बस इस नेटवर्क का लास्ट आईडी मेरा यही बनेगा 200.10.20.31, तो ये मेरा हो गया ब्रॉडकास्टिंग के लिए, राइट? सो अब मेरे पास आईपी जो बचा है वो कहां से कहां तक है, 1 से लेकर 200.10.20.30, आई मीन 200.10.20.30, that is my last usable IP for the host. This is my last usable IP for the host, because 31 I cannot assign to any of the hosts. This is my broadcasting address, right? The first one I can assign. So 1 to 30. So total how many IPs is for the host in each network? 30 IPs. Yes or no, guys? In each, subnetted network, you will be having total 30 IPs for the host only. Just now think of it, when you are using class C IP address, 5 network you have used. Just see, यहाँ पे देखो कितना तुम IP के वेस्टेज को रिड्यूस कर दिए तुम लोग. Just see, ये वाला जो था मेरा डायग्राम, किधर गया? I have created topology. I think I have used new one. Okay, let it. Yeah, here. Just see. Just think of it this one. This is my, the 5 network I have used over here. In each network, I supposed to use 254 IP for the hosts. इतने IP हमारे लिए अवेलेबल थे हर नेटवर्क में. 254 IP होस्ट के लिए था मेरे पास. देख रहे हो, 254 हर नेटवर्क में था मेरा, ठीक है. लेकिन अभी मैंने जो कॉन्फ़िगरेशन किया है उसमें मेरे को ईच नेटवर्क में, जस्ट सी हियर, ये जो सबनेटेड नेटवर्क मेरा जो बना, let me find that. Yeah, just see it there. Yeah, just look at that. In each network, now think of it, only 30 IPs are available for the host. Previously it was 254. अब सोचो, मेरे को अगर होस्ट जो है मैं 10 कॉन्फ़िगर करता, 20 कॉन्फ़िगर करता, तो कितने सारे आईपी यहाँ पे वेस्ट हो जाते. जस्ट थिंक ऑफ इट, सपोज आई एम कॉन्फ़िगरिंग द 20 होस्ट. सो 20 होस्ट अगर कॉन्फ़िगर कर रहा हूं तो 234 नंबर ऑफ जो मेरा आईपी जो है वो वेस्टेज हो रहे थे. अगर मैं ये कॉन्सेप्ट यूज करता तो मेरे को तो 30 आईपी होस्ट मिल चाहिए. ऐसे हमने कॉन्फ़िगरेशन होस्ट के बेसिस से नहीं किया है, हमने किया है नेटवर्क के रिक्वायरमेंट के बेसिस से. अगला हम लोग टाइप पढ़ेंगे जिसमें होस्ट रिक्वायरमेंट है. अब तुम यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन कर सकते हो कि सर अगर आप ऐसे करेंगे, अगर मेरे को चाहिए था 50 आईपी, तब तो आपका नेटवर्क में नहीं हो पाएगा होस्ट हर नेटवर्क में. अगर मुझे चाहिए 50 आईपी पर नेटवर्क, आपने तो ठीक है 20 ले लिया, 30 ले लिए, 30 तक तो चलो फाइन है, लेकिन 30 से ज्यादा मेरे को चाहिए होता तो मेरे को 100 चाहिए, तो फिर आपका तो ये नेटवर्क तो काम ही नहीं करेगा फिर यहाँ पे. Yes, you are correct only, but the thing is that I have divided this, that I have done the subnetting on the basis of requirement of network, not on the host. मैं तो ये समझा रहा हूँ बस तुम लोगों को कि हाँ नेटवर्क ये अगर बना तो आप होस्ट कितना कॉन्फ़िगर कर सकते हो पर नेटवर्क, वो मैंने बताया. लेकिन हमारा एक और टाइप का सबनेटिंग होता है जहां पे आपको रिक्वायरमेंट पड़ेगा होस्ट का, मतलब पर नेटवर्क कितना होस्ट कॉन्फ़िगर कर सकते हो. अगर 100 करना है, 200 करना है, उसके हिसाब से कॉन्फ़िगरेशन हमें उसके हिसाब से स्टेप फॉलो करने की. ये मेरा जो रिक्वायरमेंट था नेटवर्क के बेसिस. ये जो टोपोलॉजी हमने जो देखा था थोड़ी देर पहले, इसमें 5 नेटवर्क का जरूरत था. जस्ट थिंक ऑफ इट, इसमें 5 नेटवर्क का जरूरत था. लेकिन मैंने क्या किया, एक ही नेटवर्क से 5 नेटवर्क क्रिएट किया, लेकिन 5 के बदले वो मेरे को मिला है 8 नेटवर्क, राइट? तो वहां पे 3 नेटवर्क ही मेरा वेस्टेज हुआ. ये सब नो, तो एक ही से तो हमने किया ना. यहाँ पे 5 से तो अलग अलग 8 नेटवर्क तो ऐसा कुछ बनाया नहीं. मैंने एक ही नेटवर्क से मैंने 8 सबनेटेड नेटवर्क बना दिया, और उस 8 सबनेटेड नेटवर्क में मेरे को यूज करना है ओनली 5 networks. So only 3 subnetted network is going to be wasted. Are you getting it not in this concept? तो उससे फायदे एक तो नेटवर्क तो हमारा बच गया और साथ साथ जो है अगर होस्ट का भी रिक्वायरमेंट अगर कम होस्ट का रिक्वायरमेंट रहता 30 से कम का तो मैं ये कंसेप्ट यहाँ पे इजिली अपना आईपी कॉन्फ़िगर कर देता इसी नेटवर्क से। तो अगर मैं बोलूं तुम लोग का व्हाट इज द फर्स्ट देयर इज सम क्वेश्चन हियर इट कैन बी आस्क्ड व्हाट विल बी द फर्स्ट यूजेबल आईपी ऑफ द subnetted network 1, first usable IP of subnetted network 1. Can you tell me? What is your answer?
Sir,
So
200.
33, like 200.10.20.33.
Very good. So 200.10.20.33. So 33 will be the first usable IP of subnet 1. Remember this. If we'll ask you what is the last usable IP of subnet 7?
Sir, 200.10.20.223.
223,
Subnet 7.
sir.
Subnet 7, guys.
Sir, it's 255.
Sir, 200.10.20.254.
254 or 255? 250,
54.
first
Sir, it's
254. Very good.
254.
Very good. So just see, because subnet, my subnet 7 starts, just see here. Subnet 7 start from this IP. Just look at here. 200.10.20.224. This is my network ID. Remember this. This is not usable IP. Guys, just think of it. This is my one of the network ID. In the subnet, that is also, this is used as a, what? It's a network ID. So this is my network ID. First, my usable IP starts from 225 from the subnet 7, and it will goes up to this values will goes up to 255. So 255 again I cannot use. This is for my broadcasting, right? So before of that whatever IP will be there, that is my last usable IP for the host. So my last usable IP address, if anybody will ask you, so what is your answer? 200.10.20.254/27. This is my last usable IP for the subnet 7. This type of question maybe in IP addressing, maybe it will be there in your online test. तो अब लास्ट पूछ सकता है, यूजेबल आईपी पूछ सकता है होस्ट के लिए, नेटवर्क आईडी पूछ सकता है, लास्ट नेटवर्क आईडी क्या हो सकता है अगर कोई सबनेटेड नेटवर्क तुम यूज कर रहे हो तो लास्ट सबनेटेड नेटवर्क आईडी क्या है बताओ? व्हाट इज द लास्ट सबनेटेड नेटवर्क आईडी?
.224, 200.10.20.24.
दिस वन ओनली 224 वाला ही होगा, राइट? दिस इज माय लास्ट सबनेट 7. So I hope it's clear to all, how many hosts you can configure, what will the first usable IP, what is the first subnet ID or last subnet ID. If anybody will ask you what is the new CIDR value of your
The last
subnetted
subnet
network.
IP 224 होगा ना? Last subnet IP 224 वाला होगा, right?
No, last subnet ID, not IP. IP meaning is different and ID is network ID or network address. Just think of it. There is two things. So some people get confused, like network IP and network. Just see network. Suppose I'm writing network address. Network address of last subnet, So what I'll write? Network address of last subnet. That is what? 200.10.20.224. Right? That is my last subnet network address, or this is also called as a network ID, network address or network ID of last subnet or subnetted network. Also, you can say that. So both the meaning of both the statement is same only. I mean, you have to just simply give the network ID, network address, or if I'll say like what is the last IP of subnet 7 or last usable IP if I ask, or last IP for the host. Just all are the a bit similar thing, but somewhere you have to make some changes. Just understand that. If I say from the subnet 7, what is the last IP of subnet 7? What is your answer? Last IP of
So
subnet
255.
254.
So 255
255.
होगा.
Last IP is 255. Remember this 200.10.20.255.
पर वो तो यूजेबल आईपी नहीं हो रहा है.
Just understand. First listen it. So last IP of subnet 7 is what? 200.10.20.255. But if I'll ask you, the question is that what is the last IP for the host or last usable IP? If I'll ask last usable IP for the host, then what is your answer? Then you have to say
254.
10.20.254. So just understand the question first, because here there are some lines is if anybody asks and you will not understand and you tell the right directly answers, maybe you will be also confused and maybe your answer will be wrong. So make sure that what is the question and what you are answering. So if you'll answer like last IP, so it means that on that network you have to check that the last IP is your broadcast address. Remember this. And last usable IP, if you'll ask, then you have to say before of the broadcasting address, that IP usable IP for the host. But it doesn't mean that the last address is not a, coming under this network. This last IP of 200.10.20.255, that is also a part of this network only. Because ये broadcasting किस network का है? हमारा 24 network वर्क का ही है. ये कोई और network से नहीं आया है ये broadcast. That is the part of this network only. I hope it's clear to all. Any other question if you have, you can ask me. Or type 2 subnetting we'll see in the next class. So I will give you some question today so that you can solve based on this type 1 subnetting on the basis of requirement of network. So write some IP addresses. This is for the class C I have given, subnetting on the basis of class C. Okay. So I'm just giving some question based on class C only. So you will try give more question, or class B, class A also you can try. So the like IP is like 192.168.10.10/24. Required network is 6. यहाँ पे 6 नेटवर्क रिक्वायर्ड है पहला क्वेश्चन में. सेकेंड क्वेश्चन लिखो 200.200.100/24. Required network is 7. Okay. So on that basis, you will do the subnetting. And one more question, you can write it down. The third one is, let it be the IP of 192.168.20/24. And required network is equal to, let it be 6. Okay, 6 I have given. Let it be 4. Okay. So on that,
Required
on the
network
basis,
meaning
you are not there in the class or what? What's your name? I think you have joined late. Initially, I have explained you who are asking this question. I think from the starting, when I was started explaining about required number of hosts, required number of network, I think you have missed that. You joined late or what? चलो, someone explain that. ये already मैंने बता दिया है. जो लोग join late किए हैं, कोई एक volunteer करेगा. Explain it. What is the meaning of required network? Those who have understood, just explain quickly. Anyone?
Sir, number of subnets.
What is the meaning of required network meaning? Explain it.
Sir, number of sub networks that we require.
Yeah, you can say see, when we have started, I'll just give a quick overview of that. Those who are asking this question, let me go to my previous example where I have explained that. I'll show you on the screen. So just see the formula which I have used here. Just look at here. Yeah, just see here. So see, there are two types of subnetting that is used in the computer network. Okay, the first one is based on a number of requirement of the network, and the second is number of requirement of the host. So suppose there is a the configuration here. Just you can see we have connected some of the switches, net router, and some end devices, and here requirement is like without subnetting. Just think of it. How many network is required? So one network for this, one other network is for this, another network for this configuration for this and this. So total it is 5 network is required. Okay. So if you are using 5 different networks, just think of it. So in each and every network, suppose I have used one network 200.10.20.0/24, 21.0/24. So in each and every network, how many hosts I can configure? 254, right? But maybe I have a requirement of less number of hosts, or unnecessary. Why will create so many different class C or class A or class B, network? Because in each and every network there will be a huge number of hosts you can configure, and you are unnecessary. You are wasting because that much of host you are not going to configure. You are unnecessary. You are wasting those IP addresses, right? So why don't like we can use any one network like this one. Suppose let it be this network I'm using. And out of this network, I can divide the some subnetted network from this network only. From the given network, I can subnet that some different networks. So how many network I have required? 5 network I have required, right? On that, this according to this topology, I have a requirement of 5 networks. So I have done the subnetting on the basis of 5 subnetted networks. So that was the requirement of the 5 networks. It means that I have to create that 5 subnetted networks. So when I have done the subnetting, I don't get the directly 5 subnetted network. I got that how many subnetted network I have configured? 8 subnetted network, right? Subnet 0, 1, 2. You can see on the screen here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up to 7. So from 0 to 7, so these are my what is a subnetted network, but I have a requirement of only 5. So here, at least from the previous scenario where we are not using the subnetting, unnecessary we are creating so many networks and we are wasting the IP address. Here we have used only one network. Out of this we have created 8 subnetted network, and out of this 8 we can use the 5 network. हमें 5 नेटवर्क का जरूरत है, हम 8 से 5 ले लेंगे. हमारा तो फिर भी हमारा बहुत सारे आईपी फिर भी तो हमारा ये हो गया ना, बच गया. जितने भी हमारे नेटवर्क ये जो जितने सबनेटेड नेटवर्क जो फॉर्म हुए हैं, ये सबका जो है अलग अलग नेटवर्क की तरह बिहेव करेंगे, सबका अलग अलग नेटवर्क आईडी है. So 5 we required, 8 we got. At least we have minimized that wastage of IP. I cannot say that 100% we have minimized. Yeah, definitely we have reduced the some shortage of IP address. Yes or no? So this concept comes under the requirement of the network. Like I have required 5, 10, or 6 in any question like your interviewer is asking, or maybe in online exam, if it is given like this is your one of the IP address and required 10 subnetted network. What is the first IP of the subnet 0 or subnet or first subnet? Or maybe it will ask you the first usable IP of the host of the subnet 1 or subnet 2. Right? In this basis, there will be question. Multiple options will be there. On that, you have to check that. There is some IP like 200.10.20.20, somewhere written like 200.20.20/27, somewhere it will be /28. Like that way, it will be the value will be given in the options. So if you know the subnetting concept, you can immediately find that values, and you can check that your subnet mask, what is the new CIDR values, and what is the subnetted ID, and what will be the IP of that usable for the host. So all these things you can calculate. So the first time you're doing it is taking more time, but once you'll practice 5 to 6 questions, after that within 2 to 3 minutes you can complete this. You can solve all those values immediately. Have you understood now those who have asked this question about what is the requirement of networks? Did you understand now? Okay, so am I audible, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So I have given you some questions. You will practice, and once just use your notebook and complete. I mean, solve it in the handwritten format. Don't use any, Google and all, and just you're copying and pasting in, or you're using ChatGPT and finding the answer. Don't do like that. Just solve all those problems and take the photos and upload in the classroom. I'll create that assignment today, and there you have to upload all this answer of these questions in a handwritten format. Make sure that. Okay, so I'll see you. We will see in the next class, guys.
Thank you, sir.